You got challenges that you're going to run across.
So because of the situation, how my paperwork had to be done with the parole board, I could only be released to the person who the parole board had like on my gate pass. The people that I was supposed to be released to know that's how it worked, because we had never been through this before, and no one had ever told me that this is possible, that this might happen. And all I had prepared for, never knew. So when I went to leave with me and another guy, we was both getting out the same day. When I went to the front gate to leave and all that, he said, well, Phils, you're right here. I said, my brother out there. I do. He said, oh, that's not the name on your thing. I said, what you mean ain't the name on my thing? That's not found out to be released. So I should have got out like at 10 o'clock in the morning. So they said, if the people that's supposed to pick you up aren't here by 2 o'clock, we're gonna call the parole board. So what that means is you're gonna call the parole board and tell them that the people that's supposed to be responsible for me did not show up. So the odds was pretty good. I would have had to go back to the cage and not got out. It was a very trying time. I was sitting over there with my little gray go home jogging pants, one size fit all Miss Sophia pants on. But you know what I had though? I had Think and Grow Rich. And I sat there and I just read Think and Grow Rich. I made my phone calls. They said it's gonna work it out. Read Think and Grow Rich. Because dude, the sales like, I've never seen somebody be this calm. Like, you taking it like this. I wasn't though. I just kept reading Think and Grow Rich. So listen, the dude that picked me up, he got through the gate like at 1:54. By the time they did the paperwork and got to me and called me, it was like 1:57. It was like 3 minutes to. So I found out he was supposed to be. I got a 5-guy burger because I heard they were so great. They wasn't hitting for nothing. I'd have had burgers in jail better than them. That's nothing. The food on the street, we thought, that's what I tell you, we think we missing a lot. We're really not. We're really not. I have not found a lot of great food on the street. I have not. But anyway, so that's what I did. What did I do? I had a whole bunch of stuff to unpack and try to get together and whatnot and organize. And that was like just overwhelming. I don't know. Just
did you cry?
Oh, but I did cry.
Tears. Your first night though, when you got in the bed outside of the
I stayed up all night.
Did you?
I stayed up all night. I thought. Listen, I did in the first probably 2 weeks. I might have slept 3 to 4 hours total because I was staying up until I passed out. I would just wake up. I don't even know how I got on the floor. I was watching YouTube. I was trying to figure out how to work the phone. And this is the other thing I realized. You cannot Amazon. This is why I know Amazon gonna take over the world. You cannot work a phone and not go through Amazon. You must pay homage to Amazon. Because I kept trying not to set up an Amazon account. I'm like, I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't operate in the world without Amazon. So I had to get an Amazon account finally. But for like the first 2 weeks, I didn't even sleep. I was just up, just trying to just be up all morning. And YouTube. I've been crazy on YouTube. Just YouTube. Wow. I love YouTube. That was like the one thing I wanted when I got out. That was more than food, sex, YouTube. I heard about YouTube. It's the smartest thing I ever heard in my life. So yeah.
Wow.
It was a lot of YouTube. That's really what I was doing, YouTube all day. Yeah. Like the first 2 days, I don't even think I slept. I might have passed out for a second that second day, but the first day I ain't even sleep.
What would you advise somebody about like say if you go and you could go back to your first day, like we talked about getting out. What would you advise to yourself if you started over? It's been a year now. It's been a year. So now if you have been out a year and then like what you just said, and your new self is coming out now, what would you tell your new self?
Due to the fact how I did my time in preparation to coming out to affect change in the community and by designing programs, and these programs going to turn into businesses, I would tell myself, do not activate your phone. Do not turn on the TV and watch YouTube. Continue on your exact same grind you had in jail until you figure it out. All that stuff going to be there. That stuff going to be there. Because the mindset and the focus and the hunger, you got to have a certain type of hunger to lock in. I only get that in spurts now. Remember, we talked about that. We was talking about the focus. I only get that in spurts now. It's a feeling. It's a vibe. It's a move. Like recently, Snoop just got he was fighting for Doggy Style, and they was trying to tell him to remaster it. you know, and remaster and bring it back out. And he said, I can't do that because the remaster, you got to go back in the studio and rap it, I guess. Mm-hmm. And he was like, that was a feeling, a move. I can't never redo that. I got to get the original dog. I got to have that. And that's like that. Hunger you got there, I only get it in spurts. I only get it in certain moments. So I would have not connected. I would not. I'm talking about, it might have said for that first one, I shouldn't have activated the phone. I shouldn't have watched a minute of YouTube. Because it's all a distraction, even if it's a positive. Remember, I told you, it had me crazy. I was looking almost in insurance policies. I'm gonna do crypto. I'm chasing everything. I got all these notes and stuff. I took all this stuff and threw all that stuff in the trash. I'm like, Lewis, you know the path, and that's why. That's really I had to get back to. You know the path. If it ain't this, no. If it ain't this, no. Everything is a no. If it ain't this, you know. I ain't trying to figure it out. That's the advantage I do got off of people. Over people that's like 40-something years old, 50, and I hear the stories like they got technical stuff, they got education, they got background. They don't know their passion. They don't know the identity of where they should be going, and they searching for a path. I got the path. I'm going backwards. But they got that. I got that already. So my thing is getting back in them prisons. That's what I've been beating hard. So that's a huge thing I would say. And if it's a 1B. It was a lady who sent me Bible studies for like 20 years. I went to the hole and she went to church with my mother. And she told me, she was like, when she didn't tell me, she told my mother, we're going to get him saved. Because I was terrible. I wasn't saved. Nowhere near saved. And she sent me these Bible studies every week, consistency. I kept bull crapping. I got on like October. I think she passed away like in December. I never went to see her before she died. It's like she held on till I got out. I regret that. That's what I should have done. I should have went and saw that one. So that was some bull crap I did. That was, that woman sent me consistently. Every week would send me Bible study.
Wow. Yeah, and that's the question I was going to ask you. What regrets? Or do you have any regrets since you've been out? But you just answered that.
Yeah, that would be the regret. Yeah.
So other than YouTube and everything else out here in the world being a distraction, what was that your wall? Like what wall did you hit? When you, so I'm guessing the whole distraction with YouTube and crypto and
the first wall was because networks and people, relationships are everything. When I learned restorative justice, the whole principle is relationships. So like even how I know you now. Relationship with Mike led to relationship with Mr. Fleming. Mr. Fleming's relationship led to Miss Lisa Adams Horsley. And then that relationship led to you seeing something and saying, you know what? I'm going to speak up for this guy. And you wrote a letter to me for the Pro Bowl, which was very influential.
I was a letter. My letter is the letter that got you released.
Oh, my God. She's still...
Right on. There you go. I'll hit you with your thing.
I for a year and a half. It was my letter. When Tony called me and said, yo.
I will say this. The man, they most definitely mentioned it. It was most definitely influential.
Oh my God.
So the networking and the relationships were huge. So if there was a wall, it was this. Because I look at prison like a coffin. You're in a coffin, you're buried alive, and it's up to you to dig yourself out. So you got to scream and scratch. That's why I ask dudes that's in jail. If you was in a coffin buried alive, when would you stop fighting? When would you stop fighting? When would you have time to take a rest? When would you have a time to go worry about what LeBron scored last night or if he coming back off his injury? When would you have time for that? If you buried alive, how hard would you fight? So my point is this.
Make sure that you like and subscribe and hit the all button and all that kind of stuff because we're going to have a lot of good interviews on this podcast.